Welcome to Office 24 by 7. In today's video, we'll understand how webhook integrations work in Office 24 by 7 and how you can use them to capture data from third-party applications and automatically trigger actions inside your CRM. Let's first understand what a webhook is. A webhook is a mechanism that allows a third-party application to push data to Office 24 by 7 as soon as an event occurs. For example, when a customer completes a payment, submits a form, or triggers an action in another system, the data is instantly sent to Office 24 by 7 CRM in real time without any manual effort. The platform then captures this data, maps it to CRM fields, and uses it to trigger automation workflows based on your configuration. Now let's see how to configure a webhook integration. To begin, navigate to the Integrations menu. On the top, click on Add Integration to create a new integration type. In this example, an integration type has already been created. You'll notice that a name has already been provided. Here, the example is a payment gateway integration with Instamojo, which is a kind of CRM that generates payment links. The objective of this integration is simple. Once a payment is completed, the payment details should be captured inside the CRM and used to trigger the next set of automation actions. As you can see here, the integration type is selected as Payment Gateway, and a short description has been added for clarity. Just below that, you'll notice the authentication types. Office 24 by 7 supports multiple authentication types, such as Basic Authentication, API Key, OAuth, or None. In this case, the None option is selected. You'll also see other available integration categories here, such as Cloud Telephony, APIs or IVR, WhatsApp, email, and social network APIs. All of these can be integrated with Office 24 by 7 to capture real-time data. Below that, you'll notice an option to upload an icon for the integration menu. This is optional. You can upload one if required or leave it blank. Now, let's look at the JSON configuration. This JSON is provided by the external API. It defines the structure and parameters of the data that Office 24 by 7 will receive from the third-party application. You simply paste this JSON from the external API here so the system understands what data to expect. Once all the details are entered, click on Submit to save the integration. In the same way, you can create multiple integrations for different third-party systems, such as other payment gateways, third-party CRMs, marketing tools, cloud telephony providers, WhatsApp APIs, email services, or custom applications. Once saved, each integration appears in the integrations list with its complete configuration details. Now that the integration is ready, let's use it inside automations. Here you can see an automation flow that has already been created using this webhook integration, i.e., Payment Gateway integration with Webhook. In the configuration flow, you'll notice that the trigger node is set as a webhook. Instead of using FromObject as the trigger, this flow starts when data is received from an external application's API. Inside the webhook trigger, you'll first provide a label name and a description. Just below that, you'll select the integration type. All integrations created earlier in the integrations menu are listed here. Once you select the required integration, you'll notice that the associated JSON payload is automatically loaded. This JSON represents the exact data received from the external API. You don't need to use every field from this payload. Instead, you only extract the values that are required for your CRM. The next step is to store those required values as variables and map our object fields. For example, here you'll see a variable named payment_ID. The value we want to store in this variable is the payment amount. Under the Payment section, you'll notice the Amount field. This value is captured and stored in the payment_ID variable. Similarly, if you look at the Buyer Information section, you'll find fields like name, email, and phone number. These values are also extracted and stored as separate variables. You can also capture the purpose of the payment from the Details or Purpose field in the JSON and store it in another variable. If the JSON contains additional information, such as shipping address, city, or postal code, you can create variables for those as well. By expanding the variable dropdown, identifying the correct JSON keys, and mapping them to variables, you define exactly what data you want to capture. Once all required variables are configured, click Save. Now that the data is stored in variables, the next step is to map these variables to objects. For this, add a field mapping node. In this node, you'll configure the From Object and To Object, using the same object defined at the integration level. When selecting fields instead of choosing object fields directly, you'll notice an option to select variables because the webhook data, JSON responses, was stored in variables. Those variables need to be mapped to our object, which is the leads object. For example, here, I am mapping the payment amount variable to the budget amount estimation, the phone variable to the number, the email variable to the ID, the name variable to the first name, and the payment purpose variable to the discovery call notes. This ensures that all values received through the webhook are correctly stored inside the CRM. Once the mapping is complete, the next step is to create a record. Here, a record node is added and the leads panel is selected. This ensures that a new lead is automatically created whenever the webhook receives payment data. After the record is created, a notification is sent to the customer. You'll notice a message file node here. The flow uses the lead's contact number and sends a WhatsApp message using a predefined payment confirmation template. This template contains variables which are automatically populated using the lead's field values. With this, we reach the end node of the configuration flow. Depending on your business needs, you can also add more nodes, such as field updates, routing rules, conditions, or any additional nodes. So, to summarize the complete flow, a third-party application sends data to Office 24/7 through a webhook. The webhook captures the payload. Required values are extracted from the JSON and stored as variables. These variables are mapped to CRM fields. A record is created automatically. Notifications, such as WhatsApp messages, are triggered in real time. This is how webhook integrations in Office 24/7 help you receive real-time data from external systems, automate record creation, trigger workflows, and build powerful event-driven automations without manual intervention. Thanks for watching. Explore more automation and integration tutorials on the Office 24/7 YouTube channel.